Is it okay to laugh at these people?
Oh, whoops, I just did.
I mean, I do. That's the thing. I'm not. You've got cover if you want. I do. I think it's.
I don't know if it's
care.
right to, but I don't know if it's right to. But laughter is not something that you can control. When something's funny, you laugh.
Yeah.
Like laughter is not something you can force, right? So if it happens, like I'm not going to be like super harsh on myself.
It is. I mean, I feel the same kind of conflict because, like, if someone was called themselves like Mr. No Helmet on a motorcycle, and they bragged they thought that helmets were the work of the devil, they thought that helmets actually killed you, and then they died by slamming into a stop sign, their skull crushed in. Obviously, that's tragic and it's sad, but. You would
Julian
also
is
be
distraught just
dishonest to
thinking
not
about it.
note
Clearly.
the irony, you know? You have to at least take a moment to note the irony and appreciate it for a moment and then move on to acknowledge the tragedy of the loss of life.
Yeah, like it is kind of just a normal reaction. Just be like, hey, look at that asshole. Like, what is the can you believe that guy? Like, I think that's a normal reaction to have in that situation.
Well, also, if they were like heckling your family a week ago and then now they're dead it's just like really hard to feel sorry for them enough to stop the laughter.
This is one of the it's as somebody like Shakespeare would say is one of the classic forms of comedy, which is irony. And I think that Travis points that out. I think that there's a significant difference between wishing and hoping that your political enemies don't take the vaccine and so they can die, so you can watch them die, and just kind of being amused at the irony of the situation, like we previously described.
I try to draw the line between like there's this whole these like dozens of conservative radio show hosts that are like on the kind of B tier who are just dropping like flies here, who I guess don't have access to like the good medicines and like the rich guy COVID cure that like Trump gets or like other people get. And these are people that are like openly spreading disinformation. They're convincing their listeners not to get vaccinated. They're spreading misinformation about COVID, and like they're prolonging all the things that they're complaining about, the masks and the lockdowns. They're prolonging this process. So I can't help but feel this kind of amusement when I see these people succumbing to this. And I try to draw the line and realize that like there's a whole lot of people out there that are not vaccinated for a variety of reasons. There's people that are pulled into this disinformation pipeline. They're heavily propagandized too, and I just feel kind of sad for the amount of people that are listening to these folks and then like suffering serious consequences as a result. I mean, that's just like it's terrible, and that's why I don't feel too guilty about mocking these people that are like helping to spread this kind of misinformation and then getting COVID in themselves.
I suppose, the greater tragedy is the dozens or possibly hundreds of listeners of these D-tier conservative radio pundits who face similar fates, who were in the ICU or possibly even died because they made the mistake of listening to these people and believing them. But, I think it's also kind of interesting. I like generally at the QAnon Anonymous, our editorial line was like, okay, we can make fun of silly beliefs and we can make fun of the grifters who are exploiting people. But we have to extend sympathy to, the people who are earnestly duped into this stuff because they feel alienated, because they just lost faith in institutions for whatever reason. Those people, I think, deserve a greater level of understanding. But I think it's complicated by the fact that these D-tier like radio personalities, they are simultaneously disinformation pushers and true believers. They believed to their death. This is unlike like Tucker Carlson, for example, like the A-tier people who are able to fan the anti-vax flames, but they obviously got the vaccination. Because they understand that they're part of a con, they're part of a grift, whereas these lower level people don't seem to understand that.